Hey guys, welcome to another webinar of OpenLM. Today we'll be talking about monitoring cloud-based license managers in OpenLM. Now, as you know, OpenLM allows for monitoring on-premise based license managers, but lately in version 4.5, we have a new functionality that allows for monitoring cloud-based license managers. Now, there are a few cloud-based license managers on the market. We have ArcGIS, Adobe, Autodesk, and also Office 365 that we support. But let's take a look at how it's structured. First of all, you got your cloud-based license server. If we're talking about ArcGIS Cloud, then it simply sends all the usage and quantity information to OpenLM server, just like any other license manager. Meaning that the license servers will have one server with both quantity and usage. Reports themselves, you'll have the one license server for it. But if we're talking about Adobe Cloud, Autodesk Cloud, or Office 365, then the cloud-based license server only sends us the quantity. We'll need to get the usage itself, the application startup, the application shutdown, everything we'll need to get from the workstation itself. So on the end user workstation, there's the OpenLM agent monitoring all the different processes. It's sending usage to OpenLM server, which also get usage from the cloud-based license server. Meaning that at the end, you'll get two license servers, one for the usage, one for the quantity. And in the report, it will look like this. You will have two servers that you'll need to choose, and one will show the quantity while one will show the usage. But let's see first of all, what is a cloud license manager? Well, let's take a look at ArcGIS, for example. Let's start with ArcGIS. So the cloud-based license manager of ArcGIS, it allows us to see very basic information. It allows us to see how many licenses we currently have and how many are currently used or assigned. But it doesn't really give us any details, doesn't give us any historical information. We don't get reports. So for that, we have OpenLM to monitor that. So from here, it will get into OpenLM. You'll configure it here, and eventually you'll get all the data streaming into all the reports of OpenLM. Just like if it's an on-premise license manager, the cloud license manager will be in the same reports. You'll be able to filter it just the same way as an on-premise one. So taking a look at Autodesk or Adobe, or even Microsoft Office 365, we see that it only gives us the amount of assigned licenses. We see how many licenses we have, who is it assigned to, but we can't see even what's going on. We don't see reports, and we can't even get the amount of usage. We just get the quantity. So to work around that, the fact that we are only getting quantity, we decided to have the OpenLM agent on the workstation itself tracking everything that's going on. So if we're talking about Autodesk, Adobe, or Microsoft Office 365, then as you see here, there are two license servers, one for the quantity and one for the usage. And eventually, when putting both of them on the same graph, let's choose Office 365, and apply. Putting both of them on the same graph will give you the utilization, will give you the license usage that you're looking for, using the chart, using the heat map, whatever you choose. Now, this is pretty basic. If you want to install OpenLM to monitor cloud-based license managers, it's a pretty basic operation. Let me show you what to do. So we'll hop over to my machine here where we have it configured. So in order to configure a cloud-based license manager, then all you need to do is simply select the type. So in this case, it's Adobe Cloud. Select UTC time zone. Select the administrative portal host name. You should input it here. And the port 443 is internet port. You click change to add username, password, and confirm your password. If you're using HTTPS, then use this. And then you click OK. Now if we test it, it might take a moment until it gets here, but if we test it, then we'll see all the output coming from the cloud-based license manager. Now in this case it's Adobe, so the output contains quantities, license quantities. Same thing for ArcGIS, the configurations that is, you simply select ArcGIS, the host name with 443, again give it the username password of the admin portal. The admin portal is what you've seen me here. You've seen this one. This is the ArcGIS admin portal. So this is basically what you need to input. And then when you test it out, the ArcGIS will give you both usage and quantity right here. So OpenLM basically parses this, gets all that, it understands what to do with it, and it parses it into the interface. Now that's the quantity part. What about the usage part? So if in order to get quantity, we simply need to connect to the license server, which is a very simple operation as you've seen me do. It takes about 10 seconds. Now we want to get the usage. In order to get the usage, we'll need to install, let me just remind you, we'll need to install the OpenLM agent on the end user workstation. So the usage will come from here and the quantity will come from here. So what is the agent and how is it installed? Like, okay, I want to start monitoring. What should I have? So you'll need to get the OpenLM agent, which is on our website. Just go to OpenLM, click downloads, and scrolling down, you see the OpenLM agent. You can simply download it, install it. Now, you can either install it just by double-clicking the installation file, next, and it's installed. Or you can roll out using SCCM, using GPO. You can roll it out using silent install. Any of the options to roll out to a lot of different workstations. If you have 1,000 workstations, you're not going to go one by one. You will utilize either SCCM, GPO to roll it out to everybody. So once it's rolled out, let's open up a workstation here. Users will have the agent on the workstation. It's a little icon here, and it will allow them to get license usage information, and it will allow you as the admin to get their usage information, meaning that the agent monitors the processes currently running. So if I'll start an AutoCAD session, now let's say it's a cloud AutoCAD session, So my agent right now on my workstation is now tracking the task. It's tracking the process of AutoCAD. It's tracking ACAD exe. So where is it? Let's find it. There we go. It's tracking that. And it knows that this PID is AutoCAD, and it sends that data into OpenLM as the usage, meaning when it started and when it finished. So even if we check the console of agent, we see what's going on in the background, and we'll see it's monitoring. So it's monitoring Autodesk, it's monitoring ACAD. It has even the ability to monitor if the application is used or if it's idling. It can tell you that this user is not actually using the application, he's idling. Now the agent can also retract the license back into the license pool once the user is idling for too long. But that's for another session. That's for a webinar about the end user and the OpenLM agent. What I will show you though is the license usage information of the agent, because you as the admin will be able to monitor their application usage, and them as the end users will be able to get license usage information screen. So they'll get this simple information about how many licenses are currently used, how many are available, if they need a license, and it's fully booked. So you can click on it, and then they can just get the username that's currently using, see the workstation it's using it from, when he started, and so on. And you can even click on him and get his details. Now, in my case, I don't have his details because I don't have this connected to the Active Directory. But if you do have OpenLM connected to your Active Directory, you'll get all the details here. So the users will be able to talk to each other basically and sort out any licensing issues they have among themselves. So let's go back to my system right here. Now we understood that OpenLM is able to monitor license servers, to monitor cloud-based license servers, but let's now understand the limitations of it. So it's able to monitor cloud-based license servers, but as you've seen, it's separated into two different servers. And also, it's not in all the reports. Now, it's tracking only the license quantity and license usage. It's not tracking denials. It's not tracking expiration dates. It's not tracking anything else besides that, meaning that you won't find this in denials. You won't be able to use it with license utilization, but what you will be able to use it with is all the others. So project usage, group usage, license activity, license usage, licenses not in use, procurement, everything will be available for you to use except license utilization and denials. Because we're not monitoring denials in this case, and the license utilization is split between two servers. So these two reports are out of the question when talking about cloud-based license managers. But all the other reports are available to you. The license usage, the license activity, feature usage, everything. And that's basically it. Today was a very short webinar. I don't have a lot to talk about. I will complete with the fact that we have a few new services. We have the health check, the OpenLM health check service, which basically means that an OpenLM support engineer will have a meeting with you, take a look at your system, see that everything is all set up, that everything is up and running. We'll check that if you have any features that you purchased but are not using, so we'll activate them. We check the resources, we check the database, we check the logs. Basically, we check everything and give you a certificate at the end that says your OpenLM system is valid. So if your vendor wants to see it, or if your manager needs it, then you can show them, hey, my OpenLM system is valid. We had an OpenLM support engineer validate the information, validate the data itself, validate the resources it uses, and pretty much everything. Now, this you can just call up the sales team and just ask for a health check. No problem. We'll be happy to do it. Now go ahead. I would like to hear from you guys. If you have any questions regarding cloud-based license managers with OpenLM, I will be happy to answer. I know this was pretty quick, just about a quarter of an hour, but not a lot to talk about it. We do support a few license managers in different degrees of monitoring. So go ahead. There is the GoToWebinar questions box. There's a little questions box that you can use, a chat box. Just type in your question and I'll be happy to answer. Okay, I see Andrew is asking. One moment. Yes, Andrew is asking about the pricing. So pricing for cloud-based license managers is just like the pricing for any other on-premise license manager. It's done by unique users and unique vendors. Now that means that if you have, let's say, a triad, you have three servers with the same vendor, so you won't be charged for 3 vendors, you will just be charged for 1 vendor. Even if you have it on 100 machines, doesn't matter, it's the same vendor, you'll just be charged once. Same thing for the users, doesn't matter if user uses ArcGIS, Autodesk, his username is unique. So he will be counted by his username. Doesn't matter if the username appeared in Autodesk, appeared in ArcGIS, or appeared in SolidWorks. Doesn't matter. It's in the database, it's unique, then it's counted. It's counted if for the last month there was usage. No usage for the last month, meaning that it's not counted anymore. Yes, Andrew. Also, no need to download something. You don't need to download an extra component or something special for it to connect to the cloud. You just use your OpenLM server version 4.5 and just select the right type. That's it. Okay, Christopher has a question regarding the computers. So all computers need to have the client installed. If we are talking about Office 365, Autodesk, or Adobe Cloud, these are cloud-based license managers, then yeah, it must be on the computer, it must be on the workstation. If we're talking about ArcGIS, you don't need anything on the workstation, we get it from the license manager itself. Now, of course, that if we're talking about anything else but cloud-based license managers, for example, we're talking about normal FlexLMs, normal RMS, normal RLMs, all of those on-premise ones, then you don't need an agent. You don't need to spread them out on the computers, only if you want to use the cloud-based license managers. Okay, Fumi is asking a question regarding Office 365 or Adobe. So it can't be optimized to the efficient number of licenses. So no, they can't be really optimized to the efficient number of licenses because the calculation is done on the same feature. So you choose a single feature and it does the calculations on that. If you need to choose two features, one will be the usage, one will be the quantity, the report doesn't know how to do that, so no. So if you're talking about, yeah, okay, great, welcome. Yes, John. John is asking, what is this graph show? Oh, John, you might want to watch another webinar that we have. It's called the Core Functionality webinar. Now you can just go to YouTube and OpenLM Core, type in OpenLM Core, and you can see OpenLM Core Functionality webinar that basically talks about all the different main reports that OpenLM has. It goes over license usage, denials, goes over this report as well, which just in a few words, John, basically it shows the amount of concurrent license usage until the license quantity line. So I have 8 licenses from this feature. It's Excel feature. I have 8 licenses and I see the concurrent usage. So 1 means only one user used the license. 6 means that together 6 users used 6 licenses. So this is what it shows. It shows you basically how far you are from depleting your license pool. Yeah, because if the two numbers match, the concurrent usage and license quantity, then you have no more licenses left in the pool. So this is what it comes to show. But again, I suggest go to YouTube, just type in OpenLM Core, and you'll get the webinars that you need.